Alright, I just washed up. I am going to do back-to-back videos. I'm doing a video today in the house, and then I'll do one at the Grove. Yes, I'm going to film at the Grove. Now, there's this subject that I've talked about plenty of times, but I'm going to have to, really get into it real deep to the point where, it actually sinks into a lot of men. So this video is not a woman bashing video, okay, ladies? It's not about you women today. It's about men, because there's some men who still don't seem to, there's some men from the age of 18 to 29. Hold on, I want to make sure that, we ain't got none in their nose, because I be looking at my videos and they be embarrassing, and I have YouTube concierge behind the scenes that be telling me, hey man, you're gonna have to look very good on camera next time. So hold on. Alright, hopefully we took care of that little issue. Today's video is going to be sex and dating, to be a nice guy or to be an a-hole. I'm going to say it again. Sex and dating, the title, to be a nice guy or to be an a-hole. And you see why I abbreviated a-hole, because you know YouTube, you know how YouTube gets if you try to actually spell something out. Some people might get in their feelings if I just straight out boldly say the word asshole. So we'll say a-hole. Now, I'm about to tell y'all some men some very shocking, disturbing information that will blow your mind. And why women get mad and turn you down when it comes to sex and dating. Why she won't let you take her out to lunch and dinner. Why she will not let you take you out for a cup of coffee, and why she just won't do shit. I'm gonna tell you, it's a big fucking, I said fuck, I ain't even supposed to cuss. So I'll just say F. It's a big effing deal to them. To me and you, it don't make no sense to us. It ain't a big deal to them, it is. What if I told you that the reason why nice guys and good guys get mistreated like trash by 80 to 85% of women is primarily because it ain't just because she don't find you physically, sexually attractive, or you don't have no sex appeal. That's only 50% of your problem. The other 50% has something to do with your testosterone. Oh yes, your masculine energy as a man. Guys who have the highest levels of it, you do notice they get more respect, they get more money at their job, they get more respect, more credit, people listen to their advice, people take their advice serious. And guys who have mid-level range or low-level range of testosterone levels get almost 90% disrespect, get treated like trash at work, at school, at home, on the road. Everywhere you go, you get treated like trash. Women disrespect you, men disrespect you, kids disrespect you. And some of you men don't know the signs of when men and women and children respect you and when men and women and children disrespect you. Because you go, oh my God, you go almost your whole entire life not knowing this information. Like, it be almost 20 years before you come to the realization why one group of men can get all the respect from men, women, and children, and why another group of men can't get no respect from women and children. It has something to do with your testosterone levels. I'm going to use Tom Brady as a prime example of this. Professional football player, 6-time Super Bowl champion. Gone to, 8 or 9 Super Bowl appearances, won 6 championships. He's highly respected. Kids wear his jersey, and women often go at home with their boyfriend or husband and fantasize about getting with the legendary great Tom Brady. Men, when they see Tom Brady, they inspire to be the man. because he's that great of a legend, right? Here's another person you probably might want to look at. If you're not a Tom Brady fan because you hate the New England Patriots, let's look at Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest professional basketball players of all times, 5-time NBA champion. You know, gone to like 6 or 7 NBA finals but won 5 championships. Played 20 years in the NBA, something that no athlete in the NBA has really ever done, right? Got a ring. Name one basketball player that can win 5 championships, go to 6 or 7 NBA finals, and they give you a championship ring that says 20 years in the NBA. What player do you know gets that honor? Kobe Bryant, right? Not even Michael Jordan, as great as he is, get that honor. But then again, nobody trumps Michael because Michael has the statue in New York. So Michael get a statue, Magic get a statue, but Kobe Bryant get a championship ring. So those are 2 athletes that are highly respected. And I'm talking about towards the end of their career, they showed that they still could compete at a high competitive level. Now, those are a way above average men, right? Now, let's take a guy who works at McDonald's, right? And this is how you can tell if you're an alpha male or a beta male in this society. Alpha males get opportunities that a beta males don't get. Anytime someone says, I can give you more hours, that is a strong indication that you're going to become an alpha male. That doesn't mean you're the alpha male now. It means later on you will become the alpha. If women always look at you like, there's just some mystery about him, I don't know what it is, there's something about him, I want to know what it is, you might be an alpha male. If a woman smiles at you and don't even say hi or bye to you when she see you, you're probably in a beta male. It sucks, but you're probably in a beta male. Now, will you be in a beta male forever? No! You can always transform from an beta male to an alpha male. It might take you 5, 10, 15 years for it to happen, but you will transform into an alpha male. All beta males have the great potential to transform into alpha males. Problem is, you don't learn the truth when you're in junior high, high school, college, at work. Because 80 to 85% of the time, they lie. Intentionally on purpose. Now, alpha males always find out the truth because they always have this way of learning who is telling the truth and who's full of crap. Beta males, they just go with whatever they're told. They don't really question anything. Now you might say, what does this have to do with being a nice guy or an a-hole? And I'm about to explain it to you. See, nice guys and good guys get passed over by women because a woman can't tolerate you doing the same thing over and over and over. What did Albert Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton said? They said, a thing in motion stays in motion, and a thing at rest stays at rest. Energy can either be lost or replaced, but cannot be destroyed. Now, I know that just blows your mind. You might say, but still, what does that have to do with being a nice guy or an a-hole? I'm about to explain it to you. You ever notice that all the a-holes are always in motion, right? They stay on the road. They're always on the up. And the nice guys, the good guys, who love women and respect women and find women physically, sexually attractive, they are at rest. They stay at rest. Now is this starting to make sense and become very clear to you men that are from the age of 18 to 29? Your whole entire life you have been lied to. Junior high, high school, college, at work. Think about it. Just sit there and reflect. Out of all the opportunities you were given, you notice that the alpha males, when he gets an opportunity, he gets it whether he asked for it or not. And when you ask for an opportunity, you're told you need to work, you need to work, you need to work. And after all that work, they won't give it to you. You know what happens to nice guys, good guys, who are passive aggressive, who don't speak up? Well, they go through life with that mentality, and it costs them opportunities. Instead of getting opportunities, it costs you opportunities. You go through life thinking the answer is to be nice, the answer is to be good. And if you're trying to date women from the age of 18 to 29, that's not going to help you. Because what happens is she gets bored really fast and really quick. Like, you're not presenting no challenges, no thrills. You're not doing anything to get her to go, I want him to take me out to lunch and dinner. I want him to talk to me for a cup of coffee. And 85 to 90% of the time, most of us fail because we're not used to having to, as they now say on the internet, the burdens of performance. Because we're not used to that. We're not used to someone saying, "All right, I'm gonna turn you down because you're just too nice. This is not what I was looking for." Now, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons on why women do this. Reason number 1: not all women, but some women are narcissistic. Do you know what the word narcissistic means? It means a person who don't get no attention. And they do a lot of destructive behavior because as a child they were never given the type of attention from their parents or grandparents, and when they got to high school and college they started to act out for attention. And as they got older and they got into the job world, they would still act out for that same level of attention. And when the women can't get that attention from the a-hoes or from the alpha males, they go and they seek out that level of attention and validation from nice guys and good guys. And nice guys and good guys become a victim of it over and over and over. It could be 5, 10, 15, it could be 20 years later, and you will run into 5 other women, and guess what? You'll run into another female narcissistic girl, and she'll pick up on, he's scared. He's afraid to fight back. He's afraid of the burden of performance. And she'll get furious and angry because her whole prime objective is to find out if you're a man or a little boy. And the more low levels of testosterone that you have, the more she'll be able to pick up on it. Think about this. You know how they say in boxing that if they smell blood, they know somebody's, they know it's only a matter of time before they find out who got hurt in the fight? You know how they say never back an injured tiger into a corner? Well, you're the tiger that got hurt, and they can smell the blood in the water. If you cut yourself in Hawaii's ocean waters, you know what you're going to attract, right? A shark. Everybody knows this, well, at least almost everybody. Think about it. If you go into shark waters and you're bleeding, who can smell blood 100 miles away? A shark. And if a shark can smell blood, not one shark, but 15, 20 sharks in the area, they all can smell the blood. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to attract a shark because you're bleeding. And when a shark smells blood, you know what a shark thinks? A shark goes in their head like, oh, you're easy pickings because you're bleeding all over the place. Now, if you go on land, what's the other animal that can smell blood miles away? A mountain lion, a grizzly bear. They can smell cologne and perfume a mile away. That's why you notice in a lot of those movies, when they take a shower, you notice they don't really try to put on no cologne or no perfume because animals can smell the scent. And if they can smell the scent, they can find your location. Translation, you're easy pickings. And that's what most female narcissists think. They think they're a mountain lion. They think they're a grizzly bear. They think they're the shark in the water. And you're just this helpless little lamb because you have low levels of testosterone running through your veins. And you get passive aggressive. You want to talk things out. There's a balance between communicating that there's a problem and whining and complaining too much. You whine and complain too much to women, you kill 90% of the sexual attraction. It's happened to me 7 times, 7 to 8 times in high school and college and at some jobs. I killed 90% of the sexual attraction because I complain too much. So if you complain too much, you kill 90% of the sexual attraction. And women do not like when you whine and complain about your job. They do not like when you whine and complain about your ex-girlfriends. And they do not like it when you whine and complain about how life is hard and tough. And that makes her get angry and furious because everyone complains about something. And she don't want you doing it 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And when you complain, you're killing 90% of the sexual attraction. You make the girl go from being turned on to being turned off. And then guess what she does? She has to put you in the friend zone because she can't get you to do none of the things that she expects you to do as a man. So she has to do that. Problem is, if it's just one girl putting you in the friend zone, then fine. That's not what's been happening for the last 15, 16, 17 years. What's happening is you're going from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl, and you keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. And before you know it, in 10 years, you've had probably a 50 to 100 women reject you because you keep making this one little mistake that I made 10 years ago, and you failed to learn that that's what you're doing. And then you can't seem to figure out why she ignores you. Oh, I'm cutting my phone off. Oh, I'm putting a block on Facebook. Oh, I'm blocking him on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, I don't want to hear him in person. I'm calling the police. You get all of that because when she wanted you to stand up for yourself, you didn't do it. Now, you got to be careful about standing up for what you believe and fighting back. If you do it too much, it goes from defending yourself to becoming a bully. Now, there are some women that do like men when they're bullies, but those type of women are narcissistic. Like, oh, yes, he's a bully. They'll smile because you're a bully. You got some women like that. You might find it hard to believe, but you got some women that like men that are bullies. Instead of saying the word bully, they'll say an a-hole, because he will fight back. Like when you see some guys fight the police, right? Well, that's why I said you have to be very careful about fighting back too much. That's every police officer's dream, for a bully to forget the rules of law enforcement so police can say, oh, so you think you're big and bad. Okay, all right. Well, let's see how you big and bad when I bring this canine dog out. And you get bitten at you know what because, you thought you could take on police. So you got to be careful about trying to be a bully. Now, you remember the movie Back to the Future? It's about 30 years ago. Some of you that were born in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, you've seen those 3 movies of Back to the Future. Remember the very first film where the main character went 20 years into the past and he saw his dad when his dad was 17 years old in high school, and his dad's whole entire life in high school he got rejected. And finally his senior year, he wanted to take the mother who would birth Michael J. White's character, Marty, 20 years later into the 80s. He saw his dad was a coward. He saw that his dad did not want to fight Macbeth because Macbeth, was an all-around American sport. He played basketball, football, baseball. He was big, he was athletic, he was a popular jock. He had the girls, he had the car, he had the crew. He was popular in high school. And Macbeth wanted to take this girl away from him. And Macbeth, for almost 3 years in high school, was scared of Macbeth. And it wasn't until his son, 20 years into the future, told him, you will never get over your fear of defending yourself unless you risk getting in trouble. And what happened? He got to a point where he was just tired of being bullied by a bully and knocked him out with one punch because he couldn't take being embarrassed by so many people. And that was probably the defining moment in the movie where the girl finally saw that the awkward nerd kid finally stood up for himself, because it took having his future son explain to him that the reason why you're not getting no respect when you were older was a result of you being younger. That's just one prime example of being bullied. How about we look at a more accurate movie, Captain America First Avenger. In that movie, Steve Rogers is getting his butt whooped for 5 years, leading up to World War II. And when he gets beat up, even though he can't fight back, you hear him say, I can do this all day. And when he gets beat up by a bully, you're seeing that this is a result of a guy who is afraid to fight back. When he becomes Captain America, what does he say in the movie? I don't like bullies no matter where they come from. Those are two prime examples of a man having to look at himself and say, I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm going to have to show people that I'm not a punk, that I'm not a coward. You see it again in Captain America Winter Soldier, when Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, gives the speech about how his dad got bullied because they wanted his lunch. And he told him he got to tighten that lunch bag a lot tighter. And then one day he had a weapon to defend himself. You get to the third Captain America Civil War. And Black Widow tries to tell him the consequences of his actions on fighting back too much. And he tells her this is the only way to prove to people that I am not a puppet. He proves that he's not a puppet. But you see what his final consequence is. He's a wanted fugitive. So you actually got a total of, you got 3 Captain America movies and Back to the Future as 4 prime examples on what happens when a man gets bullied. I'll give you a classic movie from the 80s on what happens when a man gets bullied and he lets it go on for so long, and then when he gets older, he has to do it whether he wants to or not. RoboCop. If you look at the 1980s, just that first RoboCop film, the beginning of the movie, the main character was too nice and too passive-aggressive, right? It's not until he becomes RoboCop in the middle of the movie that he starts doing what they wanted him to do in the first place. When he was Alex Murphy, too nice, too passive-aggressive, getting disrespect by people. When he becomes RoboCop, there comes all the respect. There comes all the, how you doing today, RoboCop? Fine, stay out of trouble. No smoking. Even if you look at RoboCop 2, what does the main villain tell RoboCop in RoboCop 2? If you were more aggressive and more assertive with yourself, I would not be able to take you apart. Again, in RoboCop 2, it's not until he realizes he has no choice but to at least stand up for himself. When you get to RoboCop 3, even though it's a terrible movie, even though in RoboCop 3, nobody has to tell RoboCop in the third film, stand up for yourself. It took 3 movies for RoboCop to realize he's living in a world where people will not be nice to him until he fights back and defend himself. The third RoboCop film, he knows exactly what to do. Nobody tells him what to do because he knows what to do. So those are prime examples on what happens. Now, what happens to men in real life? Now, nice guys and good guys may not want to hear this, but it's the truth. Nice guys and good guys end up with women they don't find physically, sexually attractive. You end up with women that are fat and out of shape, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, obese, overweight. You get with women who are old enough to be your grandma, women that are in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, as a result of you being too nice and too passive-aggressive. Now, women do like guys that are nice guys and good guys until they get older. So if you get a woman that's 35, 40, 42, 45 years old, you don't have to waste as much energy trying to get women to like you. You don't have to waste as much time getting the phone number. You ever ask yourself why every time you get a woman that's 35, 38, 40, 42, 45 years old, 50, that she's so easy to get along with, so easy to talk to? Because she's older. She hit this wall right here. She got older. So now you can be a nice guy and a good guy all you want. Sad truth to that is it took 10, 15, 20 years, or extreme cases, 25 to 30 years later, that now you can be accepted as a nice guy or as a good guy. Problem with that is, by the time that happens, so many things have happened to you that now you've turned into an a-hole. And now that you've turned into an a-hole, you don't like women who have kids, because the women who are coming back to you are women who did you wrong in high school and college or at work or at the gym or whatever. And now those women want you to be a nice guy or a good guy. But you don't want those women no more, because they put on 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds of body fat, and they're between 200 to 260 pounds, or they're 300 pounds or 400 pounds, and you're not physically, sexually attractive to women that are fat and out of shape. You want a woman that's in athletic shape. But at that point, society gonna tell you it's not really women's fault. It's actually your fault as a man, because you allowed 10, 15, 20 years to go by that you never stood up for yourself and explain what it is that you want and don't want, because you're afraid that if you tell a woman how you honestly feel, good or bad, she may not like you no more. And again, I'm about to tell you the most shocking, terrible truth. It really don't matter if you tell her how you feel, good or bad. There is a strong 85% possibility that she still might leave and go to another guy. And it's okay, because there's millions and millions, and I mean millions, of women on this planet that will give you an opportunity where the other women refuse to do so. And it takes a while for you to sit down and take on the realization that there's a problem. Now, I'm explaining to you this in the video because a lot of men don't like it when somebody tell you you need to move on and go talk to another woman. Now, unless you're a bad boy or a player and you don't care about having sex with women with kids or women that are fat and out of shape, I'm not talking about if you're the bad boy or the player. If you're a chubby chaser and you just love big women, this don't pertain to you. So guys that are bad boys, players, guys that are chubby chasers or whoremongers that just will smash anything, they don't have that problem. Because those are guys that are in the a-hole category. They don't care. I'm talking about guys that are 100% genuine nice guys, good guys. Your consequence, your price, is getting women with kids. Women will not have kids with beta males who are always nice. You know, you'd be like, why this woman won't have my kid? She want to come back to me 10, 15, 20 years later, or extreme cases, 25 to 30 years later, but she don't want to have my kids. She'll have kids with an a-hole, but don't want to have my kids, because you have low level of testosterone. And the a-hole, whether you hate the bad boys and the players, they have high levels of testosterone, meaning they're not going to just stand around 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and just let something bad happen to them. They're going to actually stand up for themselves. Now, you might get in trouble, I'm just trying to tell you how it's set up. Now, when a woman gets 35, 40, 42, 45, or even 50, it's okay to be a nice guy or a good guy, because the woman's gotten older. And since the woman's older, she cannot afford to get mad and upset with you, because guess what? The more angry you get, the more anger does damage to your physical body. So as women get older, they get more nicer and less angry. Now, they still get angry, but they get more nicer and less angry. So they still get angry, don't get me wrong now. And as for you, by the time you get in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s as a man, You slowly but maturely do the complete opposite. You go from being way too nice, way too passive aggressive, to being like Robocop, to being like Captain America, because your whole entire life people have done rude, disrespectful stuff to you, and now you're not going to take it anymore. It's good that you're standing up for yourself, but when it takes 10, 15, 20 years later, or extreme cases 25 to 30 years later, people be like, why couldn't you do this from the very beginning? So this would have never happened to you. And most men don't know the truth. When I say you need to take boxing and martial arts, boxing and martial arts is not so you can go fight. It's so you can recognize when someone's trying to be mean to you. See, when a woman gets mad and she starts doing mind games or a shit test, it is primarily because she feels you're too nice. So then she has to be like the shark in the water. I smell blood. Or she has to be the grizzly bear or the mountain lion because you're just too nice. You don't want to fight back. In her mind, it ain't normal for you not to fight back. Like in her mind, she go, you gotta fight back. You gotta at least do something. And she loses all respect for you because you are afraid that if you say what's on your mind, she will leave you. And guess what? It really doesn't matter if you tell her the truth, good or bad, she's going to leave anyway. It's better for someone to give you some kind of respect than no respect at all. And I just told you it happened to me a total of 7 to 8 times in 10 years. Being too nice, being too passive aggressive, don't want to be confrontational. Yeah, you're not supposed to be confrontational because you don't want the police involved. But even a police officer, how do you think a police officer feels when a police officer has no choice but to fight when they don't want to? Police officer be like, I didn't want to do it, but this guy wanted to fight, so I gave him a fight. So how do you think the police feel? How do you think the FBI feel? How do you think the military feel? I don't want to do it, but I ain't no punk and I ain't no coward. What is starting to happen now in society is that women will put you in situations and then you got to get yourself out of the situation. Now, you might say that's madness. Why put me in a situation when there's no need for it? Because what did I just said at the beginning of this video before I ended? What is in motion stays in motion. What is at rest stays at rest. Energy can either be replaced or transferred, but neither destroyed. So when you start to upset a woman will replace you because to her, you're too nice. And you see, you know what women start doing to get you angry and upset? She'll do things like, I'm going to smoke in front of him. I'm going to smoke, drink, and do drugs in front of him because he don't want to fight back. I'm gonna cheat on him. I'm gonna have sex with 3 guys, 6 guys, 7 guys. I'm gonna have sex with 10 guys because he don't want to fight back. And when she sees